Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sports Esports Podcast. I'm your host, William, and with me today I have Brock
Hello.
and Brian.
Hello.
And we all, except for Brian, have gotten every pick correct so far this split. But the thing that Brian has been doing well is he's been picking the games correctly for two of them at least.
hmm
Yeah, so you know what the series is going to do, except you just picked Vitality, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you've done really good. I was kind of surprised last week how we all had G2 but we all, I don't think, expected what happened. But let's get into the games. Not the G2 game right away, but first we had Fnatic versus Splice. And Fnatic brought the Jarvan top lane, which we've been complaining about Jarvan all this week, if you've been listening. And we had Jarvan top going against Jace. Didn't go out great for Whippo necessarily,
Well,
but they did win this game, which was important. Which
yeah.
I could have sworn this was the first game. I could have sworn.
Yeah, this is the first game.
Yeah. Okay. But
It's just another case where Jarvan doesn't do well while there's a Rek'Sai in the game. Now
Yeah.
it doesn't do well if you're in lane.
yeah, and this was a weird, kind of a weird game as well because we had a Zoe ADC, which was interesting. It didn't work really. I didn't think so. I don't like the pick personally. I want something to go into Sivir. I want them to abuse Sivir quickly, or even or can scale properly with Sivir, which I know Zoe can scale. So don't, but like not to the level Sivir can. Like he lost by 7k gold. Like that's a big difference between ADCs. Kabe had
Zoe,
7, and it's on Kabe. I want Kabe on my crits, like my crit ADCs.
Yeah.
Zoe bot lane works a little bit better than the Jarvan top lane.
It did, but I just don't like. I'd rather have Kabe on Corki and Zoe. Just throw Zoe in the mid lane against Syndra. I know it's a counter pick to Zoe, but like I think you could have done better than 4k deficit or a 7k deficit against Syndra, no matter how bad you did. 7k is a very big deficit for an individual level.
Yeah.
His team didn't even lose by 7k. They only lost by 5k.
Not good.
No. I don't like it. I wish they would. I thought this was a game that they spliced threw away at the beginning. They tried to spice it up right away, and I don't think it worked out. Game number 2, Fnatic brought out the Kale and they brought out the Cho'Gath. Has Cho'Gath won a game in pro play?
Hmm.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Like he doesn't have a winning record. I know that for sure. But yeah, he's had a rough time. I love the Xerxes Skarner pick into Rek'Sai. I think Skarner is a very solid pick in the Rek'Sai, and the 11 assists is like the beautiful support score. 0 deaths, 11 assists, though he was jungler. But Kabe, let's talk about him. They put him on a crit ADC and he goes 14-1. It's a little bit better than his Zoe game. And
Holy.
he was 6k ahead of Reckless. Reckless played Sivir both games. So that was a 13k gold swing. on
Yeah,
one
my man did well for
on
himself.
one person, a 13k gold swing in back-to-back games.
It's pretty good.
I'd say stick with the crit ADCs.
Pretty good. It's working out.
Yeah, it worked out all season. I was really upset with that Zoe pick. Like as you can tell, as I brought it up. I don't like Cho'Gath at all. I love Cho'Gath. Let me re-say that. I love Cho'Gath, but
About to say, I want to rephrase that.
I don't like Cho'Gath in this meta at all. There's a reason why I'm trying to switch to an ADC main at this point. It's tanks are dead. It sucks. This tank right here, this guy, he ain't dead. He's still alive and kicking. Sion. I don't know why teams don't play him nearly as often as they used to, but I think that outside of Sion, no, there's no point to play a tank right now. It's the same.
I mean, if you want to win, yeah, play Scion. But if you want to have fun, you're not going to play Scion.
You're not gonna play any tank if you want to have fun, though. So,
True.
like, what part of fun outside of me? Because I'm a crazy person. I have fun on Maokai sometimes, but no one else has ever said that sentence before.
I have fun sweeping wards and clearing them.
That's
So
true. That's true. But yeah, I'm really against tanks right now, and that it's kind of a weird thing which sounds weird because all I do is play tanks. But if you look at what the meta is like in the burst damage, like tanks just don't have a point at the moment, and it's very sad. It makes me sad. There's so many better bruisers up top lane that are disgusting. Riven,
Never been more happy.
no, it's this is the worst season of League ever. It's ever
I
been
don't
made.
even
I'm
I don't
having
even
fun.
play League, but I know it's great because tanks aren't meta.
Like literally, when people like go into your game and they tell you, "Oh no, we're 4 AD comp. I need to pick something AP." This is might be a specific example about a first-time Vladimir into a Darius, but you don't need to do it. You really don't need to pick AP because no one's building tank. The tank items are all dusty. No, those items aren't used anymore.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to build AP. You can run 5 AD comps now for no problem at all. Most people are gonna do is build ninja tabbies on it, and then that's it. I hate it. I hate it. You can probably run Malphite down right now with a full AD comp. That's how sad he is. Like that's how sad it is. Not
I don't
Rammus
think
though.
you can do that.
Not. I think
don't
you. I think you could do Malphite. I think you can. If you have enough conquerors on the team,
Maybe.
you'll be fine. Rammus though, Rammus is like a much better Malphite in my opinion because he's got speed. He can get in there and taunt you. I think that's the taunt, and he does absurd amount of damage. Malphite, if you don't build any AP, his ult does a good chunk of damage, and then that's about it. Game number 3. Though, is this game number 3? Yes, it is. Game number 3, Fnatic came back. They won. This game was one of those funny games where you're like, oh, Splice had more kills than Fnatic. But the issue is they didn't really have any towers to go with those kills. They only had 1 tower all game. 2 dragons at least, but they gave up 3 barons, 3 dragons, and a Rift Herald, along with 11 towers. This was
Yeah.
mostly Bwipo. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. This series was on Friday, and I was at work, and I completely forgot that it was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
I didn't see a second of the series.
Wow, I watched this whole series, and
Wow.
this game, I thought that G2 were going to lose this game. To be honest, like even though,
G2?
not sorry,
You know they didn't
Fnatic.
play.
I watched this whole series.
You watched the whole series.
I did watch the whole series, but apparently, I was thinking about the next series. But yeah, I thought Fnatic was going to lose this game completely, and because of these two right here. Humanoid and Kabe on Jinx and Azir. That's some very mighty fine late game you had.
Yeah, that's pretty tough loss then.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to. Even though I watched this whole series, I'm trying
And
to.
Reckless on Vayne.
Did they get backdoored? I'm really foggy actually. I did watch the series. I promise. It's like backfiring on me for saying that. I did watch it, but again, I did watch it at work, and those are the tough ones. Did they get backdoored? Because no one died. Brock,
Probably.
Huh?
bail me out here. They had to have gotten
Don't-
backdoored.
They? Hell, I'm
They
trying to
lost.
remember. You told me on
We'll
the
just
spot.
say they lost.
Oh my god, I can't believe I don't remember this game.
I didn't see it. So,
I did watch
sorry.
it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. They had to have got backdoored though. They didn't, and no one died.
Yeah.
No one on
Yeah, they
the.
did. They did.
They did. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, they died. They almost got ace.
Oh, at the very, very end.
26 minutes in. 26. 26.
Wrong game. This game went
Wait, no,
40.
this is game 4.
Game 3 is what we're looking at.
God damn it. I clicked on the wrong thing.
I'm like 26 minutes in. Technically correct. There was an ace on 26 minutes in. Hey, thank you, Brian.
Hey, no problem.
I was like, oh, whoa. I was like, wow, someone subscribed us. We're
Oh,
like,
yeah. Remember, this was the play where
just
Whippo
trying to-
flashed behind everybody.
oh,
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh,
started the
yeah.
team fight and Whippo flashed behind him and took the next.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I love how the second you said he flashed behind, I'm like, oh, thank you. That was the play. Like,
Because whenever you said game 3, I was like, I know something happened in game 3 now.
oh,
What the hell
I'm
was it?
literally like looking at this. I'm like, unless this was Jin Air playing this game, no one died on Fnatic's side, or no one died on Splice's side.
Yeah.
When their Nexus went down. Like something is
That
wrong
was-
here.
This was actually because of Hillisang.
Yeah,
Because remember, Fnatic took Baron.
Yeah, and he took the top
Fnatic
inhib.
took Baron, and Hylissang pushed the wave.
Yeah,
with Baron
he took the top
as they
inhib.
did it.
Yep. I
Yeah.
do. Okay,
And then they
I
started the
remember
fight, and
now.
Whippo flashed behind them.
Sometimes we watch just a little too many games, and
Yeah, there's way too many.
watching at work is the issue. If I just didn't
it's
work,
rough.
if I just didn't work, wouldn't get a paycheck, would be a problem. Don't make
Right.
much doing this, by the way. Make $2. I'll be making $2.50 off that sub, Brian.
Yeah, and he has to give me my cut, so
I do have
it's
to-
even less.
Yeah, I have to give you.
Same, yeah, split that between two people now.
Brian, he didn't know he wasn't getting paid.
This is true. I don't get paid.
Yeah. But yeah, that was yeah, so it'd be $1 for a month. I can live off $1 a month, right?
Yeah, in a third world country. Maybe in Venezuela.
Maybe. Oh man. All
We're
right.
living large.
Game number 4. No man, I'd have to do the gold farming on RuneScape for my money. I'd have to sell my bank tab. Game number 4, Fnatic versus Splice. This one was the blowout game. This is where Splice was in this series until this game. I felt like they didn't. I didn't like. Okay, let me re-clarify. This is a. You can blame the draft. You can blame the Vygar pick. I got it. They just got counter trolled so hard in draft. If you didn't watch the draft, Vayne was picked already. Sivir was not picked. They locked in the Vygar. Makes total sense against Vayne. They were going. It's cheese. Again, I don't like necessarily putting Kabe on mages. You lost 2 games of your 3 in that situation. But I get the Vygar pick. The fact that they threw the Vayne mid against and then put Sivir into it, I felt so bad. Like you knew the game was over when you saw that. They last picked Sivir, and I was like, oh, Splice just lost this game.
The Vygar is a spicy pick. I did see that.
It is spicy, and I thought it was pretty smart into the Vayne Alistair because you're really protecting. You can use the cage to zone the Vayne out. Like she can't tumble all around the lanes if it's just in the middle of the lane. Like it narrows her mobility, which is totally. I totally got the pick the whole way through. And then they picked the Sivir last, and we're like, yeah, actually that Vayne was going mid. And I think on the mic check they said that it sounded like it wasn't originally. I think it was
Really?
I think it was more reckless. It was like, hey, Sivir is really a free win or something like that. So,
Oh, wow.
So I don't think that was the original plan of Vayne going mid, because it wasn't against a Galio or anything. It was against Sylas, which is kind of a tough matchup, I'd say. Didn't look like it this game, but yeah, I felt bad. I felt like it's upsetting to see. It's one thing to see a creative idea falter in the game. It's another thing to see a creative idea get immediately shut down by a counter.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, and like I said, we don't necessarily like Kabe on mages. It's kind of similar to Doublelift, where I'd much rather just see him on a crit ADC. So, but I thought this one was much better than the Zoe one. This one he only lost by 3k gold. There's a difference between 3k gold difference and a 7k gold difference.
Pretty big.
Some would say it's a
Pretty big
4k difference.
Some would say that.
I've heard people say that.
Let's get on to G2 versus Origin. First game. Very exciting. Very exciting game. Brian, you were the one that... No, you were talking about something else. I was like, yeah, Vi jungle, but... No, you want to know why they lost Origin? This guy right now. I just circled over Jarvan against Rek'Sai. This was one of the better ones. Rek'Sai went 0-4. Jarvan went 1-15. This was just a very back and forth game. As you could tell, there was a 2k gold lead for Origin early. This looks like just nearly farm gold because nothing happened. And then the big fight at Baron. I loved Alphari's positioning on Urgot to get that triple kill in the back where everything was going to hell pretty much for OG. And Alfari just gets the triple kill on, I believe, Caps, Jankos, and Wonder, or Mickey X, Wonder and Yankos. Well, I can actually look it up here. Yeah, Mickey X, Wonder and Yankos, while Caps and Perks were kind of zoning out, killing Zoe, and they killed off Jarvan and Patrick. Jarvan, Patrick as in Kaisa. But yeah, they zoned him out kind of near the blue buff on blue side, and then like right above the blue buff in the little ramp there is where Alfari went down with his GA, got up, ate I believe Mickey X with the ult, and then just killed Wonder and G2 with the or Jankos with the fear, and like just used the shotgun knees. It was hilarious. It didn't save the Baron because Perks and Caps were able to do it. Which, speaking of that, sorry to go on such a long tangent here. I know it was just Mithy left. Like, I get that part where all the others had died. I really think Mithy could have stopped that Baron. Especially Caps, was so low on HP. He was like one hit away. So he just had to throw his Wings of War, or Winds of War, not Wings of War, Winds of War on the Galio's Q on the Baron pit. Like in the center part. If he would have done that, I really think G2 backs off that Baron and significantly can probably lose this game because it was such a big thing for them, as you could tell. Like right, they hit the Baron, the 5K gold lead for. Oh, I guess they threw it. My bad. I'm looking at this thing backwards.
Come on, man.
They did throw it. They get ace, but I still think it was an important play because all Mithy did at that time was go clear wave on bot lane. I thought that was not as important as stopping a Baron, because they got the Baron for all 5 people because it took so long with Perks and Caps. And then, did you guys want to talk? Since I just talked a bunch, if you guys want to talk about how the game ended or the very end of it.
Brock?
Very end of which one, the G2 Flash game? Sorry, I've got
G2 Origin.
In the background too.
Sorry. G2 Origin, the game 1, where it was like a split push race. You remember?
Yes.
Got it.
And no at the same time.
Got it. Okay, I'll do it. It's fine. Basically, what happened after that is Origin got a nice pick and got a triple kill on Nuke Duck, which is fantastic on Zoe, by the way. And then they were also able to secure Baron and secure an Elder Drake, and that by doing that, they were able to get a bunch of towers, and they were really throwing the game back into their favor. As you can tell, G2 had a 5K gold lead, and 10 minutes later, they were down 1K gold.
Oh, this is where Mickey X stopped Patrick and Cole's back, right?
Yeah.
Because G2 was pushed in and they were trying to They were trying to back and Mickey X stopped their back from going in.
Yes, and also that it was with where Yankos went into the Baron pit or the Elder Dragon pit. Like, I thought it was a very risky call by Origin anyway to try and finish that Elder Drake. I thought, back off. They have priority mid. They have Rise. They're gonna Rise all the minions. You know how this works, and that's exactly what G2 did. And while doing that, Yankos went into the pit and smited away the Elder Drake. So not only are they now in your base, taking your base down, they also had the Elder buff on top of the, doing all their damage. So you're not gonna win a team fight against them now. And then they just instantly won the game off of that. I think it really tilted Origin, to be honest.
Yeah. It's so bad. Getting backdoored sucks.
It does.
Especially in a game 1.
Yeah.
Getting backdoored in a game 1 is miserable for the rest.
Especially a game that you were doing pretty well in.
The recipe for mental boom right there.
And it kind of happened, too.
And Kaisa, frankly, outscales Kalista pretty hard. Zoe late game is Zoe. I think everyone that watches knows that. Urgot, I believe, is better than Hecarim. I don't know for sure how good Hecarim is late game, to be honest. He was 5-1, but I feel like he falls off more, personally.
Well, Hecarim, I don't know if he falls off. His damage definitely falls off, but his disruption is good because it's the equivalent to what Urgot does, but he doesn't need to wait for someone to kill someone. He just kind of goes in, disrupts everything, and pushes someone back. But then once that's
that makes
gone,
sense.
Yeah, once that's gone, it's kind of he's just there tanking damage.
He's just there. He's not too tanky.
Yeah. So damage wise, Urgot's definitely better.
Yeah, especially new Urgot. He does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah,
But
old Urgot does so much damage.
Bro, I loved old Urgot.
I miss it.
Nah.
They need to make Urgot Junior, where you can just play old Urgot.
They should make a junior champion for all the champions they rework so you can play
I was talking about old Urgot as in like Urgot 3 weeks ago, guys. I wasn't talking about that old of Urgot.
No, I want classic Urgot. I miss him.
Could you imagine if they do that? There would literally be 32 Rise. Like, with all the reworks they've done to Rise.
Okay, they don't have to do it for Rise. But...
Warwick, it's a point and click ult again.
God.
Please don't.
All right,
but the rest of his kit is useless, so
yeah, that's true.
You take what you get.
Let's get to game number 2. This game seems close. Really wasn't, in my opinion. It was always close gold wise, but it felt like G2 had this game from the very beginning, in my opinion. They did give up 2 kills right away early on, but like outside of that, right about here where they got 4 for 2 at the 11-minute mark is like, G2 is gonna win this game. And you could tell right here they take the Baron. Huge, just blowout team fight. You get 5 for none. It's usually a pretty good victory. Baron,
Probably.
Cloud Drake, towers. Another 5 for none. And game over. Caps had a phenomenal game on the Swain, by the way.
Yeah,
As Swain into Lissandra is pretty disgusting. Wonder popped off on the Aurelia. To be fair, it was more so the quadra kill at the end that kind of made him look like he popped off. He popped off in the late game team fights, by the way. Let's just say that. Because he had 7 kills in the last 2 team fights, and he had 8 kills as a whole. So I was going to say, like, that's a really good Aurelia score for someone going into Poppy. But he cleaned it up in the team fights more so than the laning phase, because Poppy sucks to lane against if you're Aurelia. Or most people.
Yeah, Poppy sucks to lane against the period. Because, nice, cool, where did that damage come from?
Yep.
When you only have a Sunfire cape?
Yeah, it's so stupid. Also, Rek'Sai into Jarvan wins again. Shocking. I know. I feel like we've beaten beaten a dead horse or whatever.
Yeah.
Man.
I think we are.
Hey, you want to talk about it again?
We've been talking about this for so long.
Rek'Sai just beat Jarvan again. It's like
wow.
How many times have we seen this?
I mean,
Every time there's a
even though Cold hasn't done that bad, like he's probably the best Jarvan into Rek'Sai, but it still just doesn't win.
You just lose. Yeah, exactly. You just lose. And I love how
You're not useful enough.
I love how Origin also is like, okay, we're getting Lissandra again. I like the Lissandra pick. By the way, I don't like the Lissandra pick not much for Nuke Duck. I think he has a lot more variety in his champ pool. So giving him something very boring and very safe like Lissandra, not a fan. More of a fan of this than giving it to Froggen personally, but still, it's kind of the same idea. And then we had Alfari on the Swain, so they're like, we took the Swain counter away. Like, we'll just play Corki into it, and Corki has a nice safe lane against Lissandra. Lissandra really can't do much to him because of his he can package away. Even when it's a small one, he can just get away from all of her burst damage because it takes a while for her claw to get in there. He can, if he sees the claw next to him, he's just gonna immediately package away, and you can't do your whole combo. So that's an issue. And if you do somehow catch him out with a ult or a stun, he just cleanses it, and he's bye. And he's just gonna simply outscale you, which is an issue. You also had the outscaling from Gangplank into Swain. I think Gangplank is very strong late game. Don't outscale here with Patrick against Perks, but you can't really outscale in a 25-minute game.
Hey, you are not wrong in thinking that Gangplank scales late game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a pretty good assessment.
Bold prediction by me there.
Yeah. Bold prediction.
Yeah. This fight right here, the very first fight, 4 kills, 2 of them going to Corki. I'm like, this game's over. I knew the second that happened, I knew the series was over. I'm like, this series sucked. I was very disappointed in this series, by the way. We can go back to our spreadsheet. We all had Brock, you had 3-1 G2. We both had 3-2, even though I have Origin ahead of G2, and we actually all have Origin. We all had G2 third best team coming into the playoffs. But that was mostly because of our fear of the injury from Mickey X and the fact that he looked pretty healthy. They looked totally fine. G2 is the heavy favorite again, I think, in my opinion, to win Europe. And I think they can make some noise at MSI, to be honest. Not to give EU fans too much, but I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. So with that,
I 100% agree with you. By the way, I was muted.
No problem. I was like, oh, okay, came out of nowhere. But with that though, let's get into our predictions for this week, and this is our final week of predictions for the LEC. This is,
Yes.
we only have like 8 podcasts left before MSI. It's crazy. So first up, we have Origin versus Fnatic, where this is going to be a game where I really... I don't... Why do I have Origin over here instead of OG? Okay. But it was bugging me. But it's really tough for me now because Fnatic's look good. They've looked really good. They've looked good in the playoffs as well. I think they look clean. Origin, I thought coming into the playoffs looked fantastic, and I was really excited to see what they did. It's worrisome to me that G2 might have mentally broke them just with how they performed in the 2 games after that. Do you guys feel the same about this? Like, do you see a possible mental boom here where we can see Origin like lose pretty easily to Fnatic? Like, they don't recover off of that first game.
I think they kind of had the mental boom with the backdoor early on.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be able to refocus because I feel like they didn't do terribly, even though they lost everything. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to just go lay an egg again. I think it'll be more competitive. I think Fnatic's going to win anyway.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say I have Fnatic winning 3-1 because I don't know, man. I know there are a bunch of veterans on the team outside of Patrick, but I really, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling. It's hard to explain. It's just like a gut feeling, which I know sounds stupid, but like it really is just like gut feeling. I have that Origin, that back door was so tilting. I think for them just off of the last 2 games they played. And Fnatic isn't playing bad at all either. They're playing really good. I think Fnatic will be able to beat Origin here. I think they'll beat them 3-1. You had Fnatic, as you said.
I'm going to go Fnatic 3-1 as well. I just don't think Origin can beat Fnatic. I don't know. I just think Fnatic's playing really well.
Brock?
I have Fnatic 3-0.
3-0? Jesus Christ.
I honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea.
Fnatic is where they need to be right now. And not to mention, we actually had a series where where Whippo didn't just int his ass off. So that's a good sign.
It's always a good sign.
So, since both of these games are going on this weekend, we have the same situation as we've done with the LCK and the LMS, and not the LPL because I didn't do it in time. But Brian, I know you watch our podcast. You're just
every single one of them,
every single fan
from start to finish.
So you know exactly what we're doing here. So if Origin beats G2, what is your prediction? If OG wins,
if Origin beats G2,
yes, because
do you mean Fnatic? Fnatic?
No, if Origin beats Fnatic, yes. Sorry.
And they play G2.
They face G2. That's what I meant.
G2 runs it back. That's easy.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens.
Yeah, I think it's 3-0. 3 though.
I think it's a 3-0 for sure.
Brock.
If there was a way for me to give Origin negative wins in that game, I would give them that.
Okay. So since we all have Fnatic, this is if Fnatic wins. So what we predict. How do you guys? So Brock, I'm kind of curious about you because you have Fnatic winning 3-0 against Origin. How do you predict this final game? If Fnatic wins against Origin, how do they do against G2?
If Fnatic wins against Origin, I have Fnatic beating G2.
3
what?
3-2.
3-2.
Sorry, 3-2.
Okay, no problem.
My microphone is being weird now. Like if I'm far away, I have to like yell. I don't want to scream.
Why do you think Fnatic will beat G2?
both of these teams are ridiculously good, but I think G2 at the end of the season kind of showed that they were complacent because it didn't seem like they were fighting for anything. And Fnatic, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying they got complacent. And Fnatic just started shredding through everybody. And for me, it seems like Fnatic wants it more now than G2. Obviously, G2 wants it, but it seems like Fnatic is after it a lot more than G2.
Okay, I sense a very familiarity with this, with NA.
I'm gonna go G2-3-1.
Okay.
Because I think it's got to be Reckless carrying. He's struggled being the solo carry this split. I know towards the end he's played better, but I don't think it's only been him. I think Whippo's had carry games, but I don't think he's going to carry against Wonder.
Whippo has what you call a hot or cold situation.
Very hot or cold.
Where he is going to end or he's going to win you the game. There is no middle ground.
And I think against Wonder he's going to end. So
and that's what I agree with. That's
more than he will carry. So
I was so impressed by G2 over Origin. I have G2 win this one 3-0. I think that Mickey X is healed enough, and they've insanely impressed me. Not that Fnatic hasn't impressed me all year. They have with the not all year. Let me rephrase that. Second half of the season, their resurgence back has impressed me. But just I was looking into that G2 game. I know we had them in third because of, which sounds weird because, like I've said before, like I had the Team Liquid still number one. I had Griffin number one. They both struggled as top teams. But I wanted to see with them, with G2 specifically, is how Mickey X performed after his injury with his wrist and how G2 as a whole performed. I thought it was like flawless. It was like back in the rich start of the season where they were just stomping on people. And I had a lot of expectations for Origin because I thought going into that series, I thought Origin was a decent chunk better than Fnatic, and even nearly better. I thought they were kind of better than G2. Clearly wrong. but so like it's like a mixture of I know G2's really good. They've shown some shakiness when Mickey X was injured. How are they going to look now, especially against a team who I have rated as like one of the best teams, the best team in Europe, obviously at the end of the year, and the fact that they just completely stomped them and looked like how they originally looked at the beginning of the season. Like I said, I think Wonder is going to stomp Whippo. Like we said, there is no middle ground for Whippo, so he's going to end all 3 games, in my opinion. And I think that Mickey X is going to be able to control or keep Perks safe enough against Reckless that Reckless will not be able to carry. He will not lose the lane against Perks, I don't think, because I think Perks is the weakest slot of G2 as an ADC. And I think that Jankos will be able to beat Broxa, especially. I hate the Karthus, man. I hate that they both play Karthus. So hopefully it's banned this series. I think that's a big pick to fight over. But I really like Caps against Nemesis. I know Nemesis has had a phenomenal year. The flame that he got early was super undeserved, I thought. I thought most of his team around him was ending. Reckless had a terrible beginning of the year. Whippo had a terrible beginning of the year. I thought Nemesis was actually the best one of, if not the best player on Fnatic this season. And Hillsing as well. I thought Hillsing played out of his mind this year. But I just flat out think G2 is the best East or Western team right now.
What about TL?
I think G2. I'm starting to think G2's better again.
Really?
We'll see in coming to MSI. I don't think it's. I saw on Reddit today people saying that Team Liquid won't even make playoffs in EU, blah, 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 whatever. Reddit is so biased towards EU, I feel like.
also, Team Liquid has the same complacency Brock's talking about. They smashed so hard, they just did not have to care at the end.
Yeah. I mean, that happened with all these teams, I feel like. It's just, but like, again, yeah, I saw that comment today and was like, are you kidding me? Like, Team Liquid would be like the second best team in the EU.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean,
arguably first. I think they're better than OG and Fnatic, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that.
Who? Liquid?
Yeah, Liquid.
Yeah.
I think I'm just excited for Rift Rivals. I know the tournament doesn't mean anything, which kind of sucks, but like I'm really excited that we're having the top 3, definitely top 3 teams from both regions play in it. I'd be very excited to see that. But yeah, I had 3-0 G2. I really starting to believe heavily in them. Don't know if they'll beat the LPL team coming out of MSI. Don't know who it's going to be yet. Don't think they'll beat the Korean team now that it's between SKT and Griffin. I think Korea's coming in with a force.
I'm super happy about Korea because I don't care if it's Griffin or G2. I'd rather see Griffin because I haven't seen them as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I always love watching SKT.
Yeah. It's either one is going to just straight up dominate, I think, in MSI. I have a bad feeling for NA, and I just it's tough to say because I think any LPL team coming out except for this is gonna sound like I'm hating on JDG. JDG finished 8th in China and they're still in it for the Final Four at the moment. But yeah, if IG top or FunPlus Phoenix go, those are gonna be some.
What if JDG just pulls the Cloud9 and makes it?
I will be quite shocked.
NA has a shot. Because what if G2 or something knocked out SKT or Griffin and then it's NA and G2? Oh, that's my prediction.
I feel like we're getting really hyped about it.
Yeah, getting hyped up. And then it's okay because NA loses to Vietnam or some shit.
Yeah, we're not in the main sequence anymore. Or whatever it's called.
Know.
Did you see that today? Because it's not because we suck. It is, but it's also not. It's because Latin America South and Latin America North merged, so they needed a Vietnam drop down from there. So they had to make it 8 teams at the beginning instead of 7. So because Vietnam dropped down, that meant there was a spot under empty. So then
why did they put Korea since they had the worst Worlds performance?
They did, but
that would have been hilarious.
They do it off of 2 years, I believe.
That would be so funny. Though.
Is it 2 years? The last 2 years?
Excuse me. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's the last 2 years. So, yeah, Korea had a pretty good year the year before, but that would be hilarious if Korea gets dropped out of the top 4 regions.
I really want them to do bad now again.
Yeah, I kind of do as well, but I don't see it happening with Griffin and SKT coming through. But yeah, that is our podcast. Thank you guys for coming out to watch. We will only have one more podcast of all the podcasts next week, except for LPL and LMS. Weirdly enough, LMS will probably be our last podcast of the year. Maybe I'll do one on LMS that's and then do LPL after, just because I feel like having LMS end it's kind of funny. But we'll see. Thank you guys for coming out to watch, and we'll see you Sunday.
The split, not the year.
LPL, yes, the split. Thank you. Sunday for LPL though, and we'll be talking about the finals. Or
Yay.
Going into the finals. All right. See you later.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.